We're live. Hi, Beautiflex with Sharina. I am called Sharina, and it's story time. Today I'm a bit early. Today I'm kind of early. Today I am kind of early, which is good though, because then I finish early and then go do other things. Hi guys, yes, we're back. How's your day? How's your night? I'll say, because the day is over officially. Might be starting for some other people outside the USA, but it's late here. Nice to meet you guys. How are we feeling today? So I decided to be doing day by day with God 3 days a week, and then lives are every single day. Story time is every single day, but sometimes we'll be having stretching instead. Mostly Sundays. Sundays we'll just be doing live stretching like we used to do. Oh no, why are you stressed? What is the problem? Yeah, it's been a chill day for me too. I've just been relaxing a bit. Looking for some music to put for us to for the live tonight. I knew something was off. That's better. What are you guys doing? Welcome. Yeah, that's good. Every yoga video I post recently is good because that's my workout too, so I'm not as exhausted as before. I'm not being lazy, I'm working hard, y'all, because we're losing lots of subscribers since what happened, but who cares? So today, where we left from, but let me first get our background music, because like this noise and this is like the only place that I can do this live from, because the other place is like close to my bedroom, and then yeah, so there's no space and there's not enough light. I feel like this light is good enough because it's too bright. I'm sorry, you need to clear your mind. I'm gonna be talking about, we are going to continue part 3, and I think I'll leave it to there and then we'll start new stories, or you guys could always tell me to continue. Sundays are going to be stretch class, 1 hour stretch class. Then 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Yeah, it's gonna be day by day with God, but stretching is also gonna be posted every single day. If I miss posting a stretch, I think that's gonna be a Saturday, because a Sunday will be a live stretch for an hour in the night. But story time is gonna be every day. Doesn't matter whether it takes 20 minutes or 30 minutes, because some stories will be quite short. But now, this story that I'm telling about my family and how I came to existence, it's a whole family. So Yeah, it's long and I'm skipping some of the things because I can't say everything, but let's get started. I think I'll do that. Give me a second, let me see. But you can tell me how you feel in the comments. How are you guys today? I'm so stressed out. In my country, they're voting. And can you imagine? Now, this happened last time when I was home. They removed the internet, yo. Like, they removed the internet and I think they removed the electricity. So I've not been talking to my family for 2 days. Tomorrow will be like the third day. At first, I forgot that it happened, and I was like, why are they not online? Like, none of them is online. And I was like, what is going on? And then I remembered my mom was telling me that they're voting. So I forgot that they were voting. And they cut off electricity, y'all. And internet. And electricity. I was like, God, we put this in your hands. Okay. Let's get right into this story time. Where did we stop off? Yesterday. Thank you, Maurice. I love flowers, y'all. It helps me. They help me. Should we be doing live class stretches twice a week or 3 times? We could also do that 3 times a week, and then story time is cut. We only have stories like 3 times a week. More like that. Really? So let's get right into this story. So, do I snore when I sleep? I don't know. I think I've been called once. But that's because I was tired. See, I have an excuse. It is normal to snore for people who are grown in age, and it happens. I feel like it's normal, like when you're exhausted, when you had like a long day and then you just fall dead in bed. It's very, yeah. So I think I've snored at least in my life. I can say that. It's such a weird question. How do you even ask that? You're trying to embarrass me. I'm sure you snore and you've snored all your life. Thank you. Thank you, Howard. All right, let's get right into this episode. Where am I from? Should I keep the questions at the end? Okay, I'll answer. I've already told you guys, I am from Africa. Oh, he says nakupenda. Nakupenda too. How do I say that? I love you too. Nakupenda sana. It means I love you so much. My dad was actually half Kenyan. That's the thing. My dad was half Kenyan and then half Ugandan. So he was actually Kenyan, I'll say. But and then my mom is a Ugandan, but my dad, his childhood was in Kenya and then he came to Uganda. But today we are talking about like my mom's story and all that. Thank you. Some people don't notice that I have brown eyes, but I actually have brown eyes. Sometimes they appear to be black, but they are brown. Thank you. You know what? This channel was full of so many shots that were crazy. One shot was at 7 million, but there is a reason like everything was deleted, and then we are starting over being more careful. But we were popular, but now we are going down a little bit. So it's up to you guys to bring it back up. I'd appreciate that. So you could ask questions in the middle of like the story times, and I could always like answer the questions. I've decided actually to do that because by the time we finish the story, it's too late and I can answer questions and then just be running off. So anyway, let's get right into today. Where did we stop on yesterday? we stopped on when she came back to the auntie's place after after um, after she escaped being sacrificed by this man who had taken her as a maid, but his plans were sacrificing her because she was a virgin. Thank you, Maurice. Oh, thank you. I love that. Thank you. Thank you, Robert. So, she was supposed to be sacrificed, but then she escaped, like the Lord saved her. I won't say she escaped because it wasn't in her power. So when she came back to the auntie's place, the aunt pretended like she didn't know, or maybe, let's not judge, maybe she didn't know that the girl was taken for sacrifice. So when she came back, the aunt felt so humiliated and afraid. So because she was not even doing what she was supposed to do, she phoned her, she chased her out, she threw her out of the house and told her to go back to the village, to the mom's place. But she left the mom's place for a reason, because the mom was suffering and the kids were still, the siblings were suffering too, and there was this witch who was not allowing them to get anything. Where did that come from? Okay, thank God I caught it early today. Yeah, I want comments. Thank you. So I need to stop like doing that so loud. So she decided to look for a job instead of like going back to the village, because there was no plan of going to the village. So she looked for a job and she got a maid's job somewhere, like someone gave her a job, and then she started working as a maid. But then she starts working at this family and the man starts acting strange, and the woman started hating my mom because she noticed certain behavior from the husband. And how, I'm asking you husbands, you mates, what the hell is your problem? What the actual hell is your problem that you cannot calm down for once in your life? You see somebody's child has come to struggle and hustle in your house, I don't care, in your job, whether in offices, whether wherever you exile as a human being. Why don't you let people's children be? Okay, like have some control over your emotions and feelings. Grow up. If anything, I can say that we need to grow up, mates. Not everything that is nice belongs to us. That's one thing I've learned, y'all. Not everything that's nice belongs to you. So you have to chill and let go, because these things, they will kill you if you don't have control over them. Thank you guys that are sending flowers and hearts and gifts. I love you. You know that? You better say you love me too down in the comments, even though I am coming for y'all and I don't care. So the man started wanting, hey. So the man started acting weird. Like the woman noticed that the man started having interest in the maid, who was like 16 years by then. And then my mom, she was scared because the woman started acting strange. She didn't want, I think, to throw her out, but then she started mistreating her. She refused to pay her salary, so each time she broke anything like a glass when she's like doing utensils, or she is doing cleaning and she's cleaning around, and then she knocked over something and it fell and it broke, so she could use that as an excuse to not pay her. She would be like, you have broken like 10 glasses this month, that was your salary, so you're not getting paid. And life started getting harder. Her trying to fight off this man who is trying to seduce her in bed, and then not being paid at the end of the month, because I think this woman was trying to do it so that she gets fed up and she lives on her own. So of course, if you're not paid, you cannot stay. She stayed for as long as she tried to, and then she had to leave. And then she found another place of a maid, and she started working as a maid again in another home. And then the man liked her, but in a child. Now there is like liking somebody, and there is like having sexual motives upon a child or somebody in the house. So the first one, the man wanted to have sex with her, but then the second one, the man liked her as a child. He sees a hardworking child who has no help. So he asked, do you want to go back to school and study anything? And my mom's like, I stopped in primary 7. And so, no, I don't know what to do, but you can, like, if you want to, to sponsor me. And then the man told the wife. When he told the wife got angry. Women, what the hell is your problem? Now I am coming for you women who are very jealous to the extent of like not giving a child a chance because you've seen a good, your husband being friendly. You guys, being friendly doesn't always mean sex motives. You should read the room and know what, if the motives and the intentions are positive, accept, help, and help others, help children that are suffering and they need help. Look at them as your children, unless if you really realize. But I'll tell you guys stories. I have so many stories to tell you, so I'll tell you like where sometimes it comes from. So sometimes I really understand where you be like, okay, I don't want this to exceed what it is, and I be thrown out of my marriage because of a certain child from somewhere. So anyway, the woman was not kind enough, and she threw her out. So she planned and she waited. When the husband left, she packed. She didn't even have anything to pack. She threw her out. She said, go, get out. You're not doing a good job. I don't want you here, without paying her. And I think she had worked for them for at least 8 months or to a year. When she was speaking, it looked like it was a long period, but even if it's a month, just imagine working as a maid involves a lot of work. To me, I've ever worked as a maid as a child when I was trying to help my family raise school fees. And let me tell you, the woman made me do laundry, and this is not laundry of like having a machine, like going in the basin, like the far back kind of washing, and that's what we do back at home. My family doesn't have a washing machine like you wash clothes in a basin. So thank God for people who are doing well and they can like buy machines that help them out. But still, when you do laundry, it's exhausting. Like I do it here, and at home I feel like the same kind of exhaustion. I know, okay, my hands are not as painful because of like washing from like 3 basins and then going and hanging the clothes to dry. That's the African way of washing clothes. So I have ever worked as a maid, and this woman had 2 children. And if you want me to tell you about my journey, I could tell you, but you're in my mom's journey. So what I can tell you, it was rough. The woman made me do laundry, wash clothes the entire night until 3 a.m. in the morning, because my dad brought me to her at like 6:30 p.m. and she told me to be around the shop for some quiet time. So I sold things in the shop as she was doing whatever she was doing, and then she sent me back home to start doing laundry. And I washed clothes, until 3 p.m. at 8 a.m. in the night. And the husband came and was like, are you planning to kill someone's child? Come on. And then that's when I went into the house, and I slept that late, and the next morning I ran away. I told her, you know what, I want to work, but I don't want to sleep over. So let me go tell my dad that. When I went back, I never came back, yo. So that shows you that that is hard. So just now, imagine doing that hard work just at the end of your month, and for her it was months. You don't get paid. Somebody tells you, get out. I know some of you would be throwing tantrums, involving the police. You're like, you're paying me my money, you know, fighting them. Like you'd whoop somebody if like they did that to you. If your boss just decided, waiting for you to work the entire month, and then they told you, get out. She was a child. She could not fight. She went back. She started looking for a place to stay. And by then she had started growing, so she found another place where like they could sleep in certain people. I think she rented, I don't know, with the sister now, like that kind of how she comes and all that. I don't know much because she didn't say much on that. So that's how far that I know. And then here is how she meets my dad. How you doing? I'm seeing hearts going up. Yo, you're the best. You're the best. You know that? You're the best fans on the planet. I'm gonna be checking the comments too later. Yeah, for real, no jokes, yo. Like, some people are so ruthless, and you guys, if you know you're like that, you need to check yourself, because who do you think you are? This world pays back. They say that this world, I don't know how they call it, it's a payback. Karma, what they call karma. Karma is real and it happens, so be careful. Hi, Black Dot. You guys have crazy names. Yeah, karma is real. So now she says she sees a young boy, because they got married when they were so young. My mom is like 40 something. They married when they were so young. Either my mom was at least like 16 by the time she was pregnant with her daughter, her first daughter. She only had 2, by the way. She could have 3, but I'll tell you the battle that's coming. Let me not like give it away. Ooh, no way. You laughed at the name because I was like, you really thought in all names that's the name that you could keep, mate? So it's hard for me to pronounce. It makes me look like I'm down, but I'm not. So anyway, she meets this dude, and this dude was a real dude. He was young too. He was like 16. I think my mom was 15 when she was pregnant, or 16, because they were all young. So my dad was at least, cause he was 4 years older than my mom. So I think my mom was 15. No, he was, I think, 3 years. So they were all young. So he finds this black dude, and he was a real dude. Now when I say dude, I mean he was a gangster, I'll say, because I don't know how to say it here. Like, he was with this crew of people, and he was like, they were doing drugs, but not like drugs here, but the marijuana kind of drugs and all that. But he wasn't violent. He was not a thief. He was careful, even if he was like that. He was very patient. He had sympathy, and he was very loving. He was loyal. Yeah, he was loyal, y'all. So you're gonna take 2 sides of the story this time, because now a poor man is coming in, a poor young man is coming in, and you're going to put it your way and compare with my mother's father, who was wealthy, and what happened. But this poor dude, my mom meets this poor dude who is smoking, and she had gone to fetch water at the well, because they had they had a pump of water. It could pump water. I don't know what it's called in English. You could help me out. Yo, English is not my first language, so bear with me. Just bear with me. So she phoned and she looked at him, and this boy looked at him, and whatever. So it didn't happen, of course, immediately. But my papa started talking to my mama, and they became kind of friends, and then they moved into their first rental. Of course, I showed you like the rentals back in the season when I was showing you about houses where I grew from. It was a ghetto. They were ghettos, so it's like this one room, actually like a room I am in, exactly this, and this small. That was the house. So whatever, they had nothing, they were poor, so they couldn't even afford like buying a big bed to put in the house, or a big mattress. So whatever it was, it could be kind of enough for them, because when I grew up with them, we were in one big room, and what separated us was a curtain. So you could hear everything, even the neighbors. But we were not spoiled. We were not spoiled. In that, God protected us. That I was careful. I don't know about the other girls, but you could hear raw kind of thing. So what happened is that they get this room, they pay for it. They didn't know. Yeah, they pay for it, because you can't enter a room without paying for it. So I think by then they gathered the little money they had, and they paid for this room, and they started living together. But my dad, like I told you, he was smoking, he was drinking, but he had no friends. He only had, I think, like 2 friends that I remember of, and they were loyal friends. Like he never had like a group of friends. But he was a boxer, and he was a professional boxer. So because of boxing, he had people that were doing that with him. So he was boxing in that time, and they were all young. So my mom gets married to him, not a wedding, just going into a house and starting to live together. And they were both working, but they were very poor. So my mom gets pregnant. My sister comes into place. And when my sister came into place, things started getting hard, because my mom could get sick, and then Papa is away, going to find what to do. He was hardworking. One thing, he worked for his family. He never, ever, ever slept outside. He never, even when he was drunk, because he could drink. And I remember when we were little, he could take us to a bar, but that's later, I'll tell you. So my mom starts getting sick, and there is nothing home to eat, because my dad was trying to find, his job was like a poor man's job, if you know what I'm talking about. So he did not have enough income to support them and the house. And then my mom's family started coming, so everyone who came from the village could come to our house first. And how I know this man was very patient, he was patient with every single person who came from the village and lived with us. Like, everyone had a start in our house. What does that show you? You being poor, if you have a chance to help others, please do. I think because of the seeds they sow in these people, even though these people did not recognize them and appreciated them, these seeds sprouted, and they have brought us where we are right now. Because of the good things they did, I think it's the reason we are still alive and we are somewhere. So they started coming, so they could like buy, what is it, let me get it for you guys so you could see it. So she could cook this with water, because they only had one saucepan. Do you know the thing that you can boil things in? They only had one saucepan, and that's what they could cook in if God helped them and they found sauce that day, they would buy this. They would buy silver cyprinid. I don't know how they call it, but the silver fish, the small silver fish. And my mama could put that in that small saucepan, and she could pour water into that, and she could put it on a stove. Those stoves, like the old stoves, charcoal stove. It's a charcoal stove. Why I show you guys? Because I know these things some of you don't know, so you might not understand what I am telling you. It's exactly like this, like that, and it's made out of clay. And it was like for 15,000 shillings. If I Google 15,000 shillings, I think by then they were like 300 shillings. That's like 0.085 United States dollars. So, and that was luck to even buy something like that. So they put it on the charcoal stove. She could put it on the charcoal stove, that silver fish, and she could pour in water to make it sauce, and then she could cover it so that the neighbors think that she's cooking something. Because you are next door to me, so like this small house, the next one, and I told you we could hear everything. That means you could even hear the neighbor, whatever's going on there. So that's how close we were, next to each other. And you cook from outside the veranda, like you don't have privacy. So she could cover it to pretend she's cooking so that they don't look down on her. She was beautiful. I look like my mom, yo. That's why I'm perfect. Ooh. So she could do that, and then Papa could come back with anything that he got that day, and he could cook. And then there comes a crowd of my mom's family. My dad's family I've never seen. I only saw my uncle, the only brother that he was born with, who died, and that's the only person that I saw, and he was not even living with us. But my mom had this crowd from the village who could come, and they eat the little they had. And these people had money. They could go out and make money, but they could hide it so that they eat, and they just like take from you. So, and I am telling you right now, these people are still where they are right now. So be careful, y'all. So my mom says one time there was nothing to eat, and she had given birth to this girl, my sister. And they were hungry, and my mom was pregnant of me, and they were hungry. They had spent like 3 days and they hadn't ate anything. And my mother went to this woman who was selling fish and asked her to borrow her that fish that was like 100 Uganda shillings. And she said, please, my child and I, we haven't ate anything. When my husband comes back, I'm going to bring that 100 shillings to you. Not 100,000 shillings, but 100 shillings. Which is lower than the price that I told you in the US. It's 28 cents here to get that fish. So it was the little fish. So the woman said, if you do not pay my fish, I am going to come and embarrass you and take anything that you have. She said, thank you so much, thank you so much. So she brought the fish over, and she said she cooked it. She said, by the time she comes to me, we will have ate something. It will be in the stomach. Yo, be grateful for what you have made. Ooh, you don't understand if you've not been in that situation. I've grown up in a poor family where I'm coming. So she yes, and that's why most people have gone. Let's be humble. Life can teach you how to be humble. I'm telling you right now. So she cooked and she ate. When my papa came back, and he could come back drunk because his friends could buy him the alcohol, but he was bonded too from his family. So he had this bondage on him of drinking alcohol and drugs. So he could come home sometimes really drunk, and my dad was very quiet. I told you he was not a drunkard who could make noise, or who could, you could like that you could hear him from a distance. They're those drunkards I know that grew with us. He was quiet. How you knew that he drank? He would be so quiet, no one would come out of him, so he could come inside the house. And my mama says, we borrowed fish from that lady, and you know their tribe, like, they're hostile. So she said she's gonna come and kill us if we don't pay it. My papa said, but I didn't make any money today. Truth is, he didn't make any money, because anytime my dad got money, he could rush home, buy us things, buy something. He could buy something new for us to see. He was very loving. Anything he had, he shared with his family. And that's the difference that my mom's father had and my dad. My dad, he was a father. He knew how to take care of his family. And you men outside there, it doesn't matter what you're going through, please take care of your children. Okay? That's why I was talking about limiting your manhood. Just control that man, okay? Because when you give birth to so many children, you're not going to give them enough. Unless to people who come from like developed countries, and maybe they are provided to, or you have a good, I don't know, but just don't do it. Because what's the reason, mate? What's the reason? Talking about that you want to taste fresh things. Yo, you're the one who went there fast anyway. Can you like please stay in that line, please, mates? Oh my god. So anyway, that is the difference. So my mom she said we are dead. The next morning the woman comes and warns her. She's like, do you have my money? My mama says no. She says, okay, don't worry, I'll come back in the evening, you better have that money. And she was pregnant. She's scared, she doesn't know what to do. My dad is bonded in drunkenness, and I think that's how he healed his sorrow. But it never healed. So what poverty did and drunkenness, it could cause arguments between them in the house, and they could argue over everything because there is nothing to eat. You could argue, and my dad sometimes could be angry. Let me say this, I was planning not to say this, but I think let me say it because it will help some men out there. So he could get physical with my mom sometimes, and growing up as a child we were traumatized through seeing men beat women. And my dad, he never, unless it was too much, and he could, I think, move back and ask himself why he did that. And he could beg my mom for mercy and forgiveness after, which was not the case with our neighbors. Yo, we were traumatized from my childhood. That's why if I see a man who's violent, even like this, that is a goodbye, a period goodbye. Like, don't talk to me, don't look at me. I forgive you, but no, we can't do that because that's the trauma we grew in personally. That's the trauma I grew in. So this woman comes back and my mom doesn't have her money. So the only saucepan my mom had, the one that we cooked on, the woman called that saucepan and she took it. She was like, okay, yo, I'm taking this. So she took it. Now there is nothing to cook in, even what we had. Life started to get harder. Life started to get harder, and my sister has a scar on her from her baby photo of when they fought that night, and they were fighting over her getting a photo. But then I came into picture, and my dad was blinded. So my mom came to this extent of being exhausted because there were men who were talking to her out of the family members are also telling her to come out of, to leave this man alone. But they are coming over, mate. and this man is feeding them whatever he brings at the table. But they could come and they could speak awful words in their language about my dad. But because we were children, we grew with two languages, so we could hear them. And my dad also, because he got married to this woman, so he could hear her, so he learned. So, but he was patient with them. He never hurt any of them. That is the testimony that he never stood and like whooped any of them, even when they mistreated us. I remember our uncle, when he started drinking too, when he came over, he started putting his, anger on us. He could beat us instead. I remember calling me out. I was playing and I think he was annoyed and he was pissed off because I was playing outside. When they brought me inside, he caught my stomach and twisted it. That was so painful. I screamed. And when I screamed, my dad opened the curtain. I told you that the curtain was the only thing that separated us, and he was sleeping at the bed, and that's the curtain. When he opened the curtain, he saw him. He could do anything to him. He was the strongest man I knew in our village. He was a boxer, a professional boxer, and he was fighting like really big people, but he wasn't getting paid. That is the bondage I'm talking about. So because of a lot of poverty, my mom got fed up and she wanted to leave. When she was determined to leave, she had a dream. So she had gone to Seventh-day Adventist in that whole process, and she left. Somebody came and preached to her the gospel and she got saved. She received Jesus Christ as her Lord and Savior. And then she started praying. She was very dedicated. Like I told you in the previous episodes, there is what sometimes when I talked about my mom, she could go early to church. She could do the ushering part of it. She could go very late in the night and she could go clean the church, clean the toilets of the church, and then she could come back and put something on the stove, food for us to eat, and then she could go back to church to serve, to welcome people in church. That's the job of ushering, and which I don't know if you guys do it here or if there are some people who are even still as committed as these people. My mom was so committed, and the people like she worked with in those times, even the Christians in those days, they were so determined. So she got saved, and I have a reason why I'm telling you that. The reason why God appeared to her, it's because of that. She was saved and she had started joining the evangelists to go outside and spread the word of God. So what happened is that she was determined to leave my dad because of the poverty, because of the constant arguments, because they could argue. When there is no money in the house, lots of things can happen. Even if there is true love, there are arguments because there is lack, and we were growing. So, but my mom had started doing hawkering, not whoring, the difference. He was hawking, selling clothes door to door. So, no, she was not doing that. She was a good usher. She could smile and welcome people, but I know the kind of ushers you're talking about, who are like military base put on. The ushers are supposed to smile and welcome people to church in a nice way, but some ushers in church, they are like military officers, no smiling, welcoming people in the church. They rude, like what he's saying, with bad attitude. How are you going to welcome someone in the church when you have a stinky attitude, mate? We need to work on that. We need to change. We need to go back, bring back love that is gone. So people like that, by the way. So when she had a dream, the dream was like this. She dreamt when my dad was drunk on the road and he was blind. And people, he was like dead. Yeah, he was dead. He was dead on the road. And from being drunk and blind, he was blind, he was dead on the road, but from alcohol. And my daddy's bondage from alcohol was from their family. He says, in their family, when a baby is born, just a few days born, they could stick a finger in alcohol because they were drunkards. They drank a lot. Where my dad comes from, they are drunkards. They would drink and not get drunk. Like, you know, that kind of drunkenness that is not normal, that is like a covenant. That is how deep he was, and that's why he was drinking himself to them. So the babies who are born within just days, they could stick a finger in the alcohol and they put it on the baby's tongue so the baby could suck alcohol when they're still young. That covenant, when you grow up and you don't get saved or get someone like my mom to pray for you, you will drink your whole life until you go down. That is it. I am telling you. And you guys, you know that in your families. If someone is drinking a lot, ask yourself, why do I do this a lot? If like a certain behavior is on you and it's not leaving, just so there is something behind that. So what happened is my mom has that dream of my dad being dead on the road, and this is what happened in the dream. There were people passing this dead body saying, oh, his wife left him, that's why he drank until he died. Do you hear that? They were saying his wife left him and she took the kids. Yeah, that's what they were saying. He's like, his wife left him and the kids, that's why he drank himself to death. And that was the dream. And my mom woke up from the dream. When she woke up from the dream, she was scared. She had packed her bags the previous night to leave this drunken man who is poor and worthless. And God spoke to her. So you people that have your husbands that are struggling with a certain behavior, do not live fast. Living is not the solution. You might leave your soulmate because of that kind of whatever is going on in their lives. And so a voice came to my mom when she woke up. Immediately as she woke up from the dream, a voice came to her and told her, if you do not save him, there is no one that you are going to ever save. That was the voice. It was loud and clear. It said, if you do not save him, you're never going to save anyone else. So the woman who had packed her bags to leave this poor man, she was forced to stay because she was obedient. And y'all are not obedient. You've had voices telling you to stick with your husband, but because they are poor and you've seen another man with money, you take off. You take off. You do not know what's waiting for you, sister. Calm down. Calm down. There is a solution. God is there in your poverty. Okay? Do not run to get married to like how women got married to my grandfather because he was rich and they ended up losing their lives and losing their children. You can be the beginning of life in your marriage, or you can be a destruction for your entire lineage by just leaving a true person that you're supposed to be with. Stop running away from your marriages because your husband is poor, because they went bankrupt, they lost a job and you pack and leave. Stop being selfish. And I do not know who I am talking to right now, but mate, if you left your husband because of their situation, you really need to ask God, unless if God told you to leave them, then yes. And there are also situations where you get married to a wrong person and you're getting constant dreams telling you to leave and you do not do it. And I have a story for you guys. I'll bring it for people like that. A woman who got married to a wrong dude for all her years. And it happened, a man's true love came and he left her with 10 children. But she was warned. She didn't listen. So if my mom did not listen to that voice, there was no salvation that was going to happen in her family or anyone else that she has delivered. And I'm telling you, my mom has saved so many lives. She has helped so many people. But she was not going to help all those people if she did not listen. If she decided to leave, there was not going to be any solution. Yes, exactly. You talk about, I want to get married to a man with 50 cars made. How many cars do you have yourself? You want to get into that rich man's house. Do you know how they made that house, baby? Ooh. So be careful, mates. If the Lord is telling you to stay and hustle with this man, with this poor drunkard man, you don't know who they're going to become. So here's the story. Let's continue. What happened is that when the voice spoke to her, she fell down on her knees and she said, God, I am so sorry. I am so sorry that I was leaving my husband. So here comes the salvation of my father through my mom. The first salvation was obeying the voice of God. My mama stayed because of the voice of God, not because of my father. So she stayed and she started raising us. His family said, why don't you leave this man? And it doesn't mean the situation changed immediately. No, honey. She had to go on her knees, and I kept telling you, my mom, she called me and my sister, and I hadn't started talking well, and my sister, she was working for her, but we were all little, and every time our dad came back drunk in the house, she could tell us to lay our hands on our dad and we pray for him, and we would do it. It would be like, Dad, go away, like that, like us children, because we don't even know what we are doing. But those prayers went right to God. And our dad would tell our mom, leave my children alone, let them sleep, leave them alone, let them sleep. So they fought more. Mama kept fighting battles, the same battles that God told her to stay. She continued fighting. She continued having arguments, and then the neighbors' arguments came in, where like sometimes they fight with the neighbors. And my mom's story, here comes another story. She started preaching the word of God. And she started preaching the word of God. Our neighbors did not like it. So they started talking to each other. There was this woman who was selling vegetables. So my mom sends my sister over to buy a matchbox in her shop, and the woman gives, the daughter's woman, gives my sister Rena tomato instead. And my sister says, they didn't send me for a tomato, they sent me for a matchbox. She said, leave. So the mom came and yelled at Rena, and Rena came home, and Mama told her what happened. And Mama, she had short temper and she had the spirit of fighting from her family. She grew up fighting with boys and everyone, so she was not yet delivered in that. So she went with Rena, and when they went to this woman's shop, she said, I sent my child to buy a matchbox, and she was given a tomato. So the woman said, okay, so what have you come to do? She says, I've come to collect a tomato. She said, okay, get a tomato. The woman called a mango from her shop, and she hit it to my mom on her chest. These were all the battles these are battles that I'm telling you that were occurring, trying to push my mom out of marriage so that this man is killed, because God had a purpose for this man, but his salvation was going to go through the wife. So the enemy starts fighting my mom. So when that woman caught a mango and hit it on my mom pulled the woman out of her shop and started whooping the woman. And then the woman called the other woman who they had planned with, and she also came and they started beating. So I was at home. I was a child growing up. I avoided conflicts. I was so scared. Each time my mom and my dad started arguing, my chest would beat so fast. You could literally see my top going like that. I hate arguments because of the trauma I think I've been through. So I could shake even if they're just neighbors and they're not my family. And when it is my family, I would shake even more. But then my family is a family of fighters. I am the only one who does not engage in fighting. I will not motivate you to fight me. I'll stay away. That is me. My sister, like all my aunties, whoop you. You ask for it, you get it. So I think I took my dad's side. My dad was a boxer, but if it was not a tournament or what they call battling, he would never fight. I've never seen him fight anyone, only in battles. He had control. So I think I took that side of him. So I was at home and I started hearing loud screams at the other end, like people fighting, people, you know, motivating them to fight, yeah, yeah, and then shouting and screaming, and people were clouding the entire place. And my sister, because she loves fighting, she was there watching too. Two tall women, two tall big women. They were big and tall. I remember them. One was called Mama Dina and another one was called Mama Elijah. And my mom, she was short and small. She was short and small, but she could throw hands like Michael Tyson. She like, look. So my sister was watching, and me, because I had a lot of whatever is happening, I came slowly in this side to see who was fighting. As a child, still you're curious. When I came, what I saw them, both of them, raising my mom like this, up towards the sky. I ran. I don't know, yo, I ran. And I'm telling you, I ran fast. And I went in the house. I just banged the door and I said, Papa, Papa, they're whooping Mama, they're whooping Mama. So my dad said, what? Now, my dad was very peaceful. But if you wanted to get his attention and get your ass whooped, touch his wife or children. Then you're looking for it. He's silent. He's good. Try him touching the wife or the children, you finish. So, man, you are protectors of your family. You are protectors of your children. If anything is happening, do not give it a blind eye. Step in and show them that you are protected. Protect your family and protect your wife. Stop being timid and doing some bullshit. So, oh, thank you. Hi, mates. That's good. I can do that. I'm telling you right now. So when I told Papa, I didn't even finish the word. I was like, they're whooping ma. Oh, he called and they knew him. You don't mess with his family. But because of the demons in these women, they could not take mom preaching. And these are the battles that preachers or evangelists face. So if you're an evangelist and you preach, do not give up because people are fighting you. There are things behind them that are fighting that destiny. So you have to fight back. So my papa ran, and I did not go back to look because I was scared. I was shaking where I was left. I had this family of fighters who believed in themselves, but because me, I just did not like fighting. It could just put me in a trauma, period. So he ran to save my mom, and my sister was there watching. She didn't come back to call nobody. And the reason I think she stayed was because my mom was whooping these two women. So for me, what I saw was these women trying to help each other, but the help did not help. It didn't work. They were whooped. So that's why my sister, I think, did not run back to call Papa, because she knew Mama could handle it. But for me, I was scared for mama. So my sister, my sister, my papa went and removed my mom, I think, from them. I didn't see the rest of it. And then I just saw my mama coming in. She was like, I know you're whooping me for the gospel. I'm about to beat y'all and preach to y'all. He said, I'll whoop you and I'll also preach to you. She preaches. Do not fight physically. I'm just telling you guys, our battles, just pray if someone does something to you. It's so good to fight. So I'm not encouraging to fight. Yo, when I think about how I've grown and like what I've faced in my later years, ooh, they humble me. So, I saw mama coming in. She was like, I'll preach y'all and I'll whoop y'all. So she came on and all that, because you know his Superman came and saved her out of there, and my sister behind her mama, just like her mama came behind her, and they came back in the house, and my papa was angry. Because he's like, if I wasn't there, anything could have happened to you. So he hated that. Though he was a boxer, he hated violence, period. He's the only man I saw saving women over and over again from being beaten by their husbands. So he was a good role model. So you men out there, if you see you see violence around you, when men are, you know, violent, trying to beat women, to stand up for them, like save them. Stop saying it's none of my business. Every human being in this world, it should be your business, mate. And I know I might sound crazy, but they should be your business. If you see something unright, speak up. That will earn you some points in heaven, I'm telling y'all. Even in life, karma will pay you back because of your generosity and kindness. So my dad brought my mom back. My mom said, I will whoop you and I'll preach to y'all. And she was going on and she was like, ooh, and all that. And for me, I was looking at mama and going through her body to see where she got injured. And she's like, get away from me. I was like, okay. I was just scared. I'm thinking she's bleeding. She had blood on her. So I thought she had got wounds, but it wasn't her blood. This is what happened. She caught stones and put them in both her fists because she knew these women are all big and tall. She's not going to be able to beat them. They're going to whoop her. But because she grew from a family that I explained to you guys, you could go back and like from the episode if you don't know what I'm talking about. So she caught 2 stones in her 2 hands and she started bruising them when she was fighting. When she threw a punch, you would be like, what kind of punch is that? Because it would come with a certain force and, you know, scratch. So she whooped them so bad that they were bleeding. So that night, they go to the police station. We don't know anything. Tomorrow morning, Papa had gone to work. We were with Mama. We saw the police coming in. So the police back at home, you don't call them. In Africa, or where I grew from, you don't call 911. We don't even have a dial, I think, for that. You go to the police if something happens, and sometimes they bribe them off. Like I don't even like trust no police officers anymore because of that, like growing up. So anyway, they go and report the case, and because they were full of bruises and they were bleeding, that's why the police accepted. The police came with these women tomorrow, and Papa is at work. So we're there and they come in and they said, where is this woman that they told us just bait women? And she was like, she came out. When she came out, these are the police officers that my mama was selling clothes to, and she was preaching to them the gospel. So when they came, they said, oh, Pastor, it's you who fought? That's what they said. They were like, Pastor, did you fight? She said they started it. They came at me and all that. They said, but leave alone that. How did you bruise these women? Have you seen them? And she hadn't seen these women. I'm thinking that even in the midst of that battles, the angels of God fought with her. Because these women did not only hate the gospel, but they were dealing in witchcraft. So they were mad. They didn't like, I've told you about witches. So I think they tried the spiritual warfare, but they could not go through. So they tried the physical warfare because they were strong. And my mama, how tiny she was, when we saw the women, I remember them, their pictures, like their face pictures, not the pictures. I was there to see them. I think the angels of God fought with my mom that night. So they bring out the chains and they put them on my mama, and I started crying. I don't know what happened. I cried. Said, "Why are you taking mama?" I started crying. And my sister, she has always been like, she just like held me. She said, "Sherry, it's okay. It's okay. We are going to tell Papa. We are going to tell Papa." And she'll bring her out. So they arrested my mom and they took her to the police station. This is what happened. When she reached the police station, for us, I'll see after. So they took her, and Papa, we waited for Papa. Papa came home. She was called, my Papa is called Valentino. He was called Valentino, so they could call him Vale. So people were saying, "Vale, your wife was taken by the police." Okay, so wherever he was, he came and rushed and came home. And when he came home, I said, "Papa, they took mama. The police came and put things on mama. They took mama." And we were young, so just imagine the trauma we went through. Mate. So my Papa, immediately, anything that concerned his wife, he was like the loyal person. He's the most loyal person I've ever seen in my whole life. I can testify. So he went to the police station. When he went to the police station, we were with him. When I tell you how the women were looking, the women were bruised. Their eyes had swollen up. They were still in the clothes they fought in because they wanted the case to go deeper. So they were full of blood. And Papa looked and said, "Whoa, you did you did this?" Mama said, I just was protecting myself. I didn't know I had them this bad." So they asked for money to treat them. We were poor, so Mama had to go to jail. So when they put Mama in jail, Papa came back. He started. So what helped us is this: brethren in Christ, the pastors where my mom had gotten saved. That's why you pastors and you believers, you have a big responsibility behind you. When a believer or a minister falls into a situation, you have to run quick and save them, because it might have been a spiritual warfare. So we have to be examples. We have to encourage. We have to help each other. So when the pastor had this and they knew her, she was dedicated. She could come in the night, and Papa escorted Mama to church just for her protection. But he wasn't saved yet. But he escorted Mama every single night. And the times he was tired and he could refuse, the angels of God could escort her, because it was deadly. Like the zones we grow in, you would be killed. They would steal from you and they would kill you. That's the life I knew. So walking at night was risky. But my dad, all his life, he could go at 3 a.m. to get clothes in town, because that's when you could get the cheapest clothes. And he could return at 6:30 to us, and he could bring a little something to eat, and then we could eat, and then he could go to work and start selling them. And my mom too. But in all those times in the night, God protected them, and I'm grateful for that. So oh my God, yo, that's wild. I'm telling y'all. God bless you, my love. God bless you too. I'm just taking some water. And I'll be closing off, and we'll be coming back with the next part tomorrow. So my papa came back. So the pastors ran to the jail because he was a minister unknown. When they came to jail, they paid my mom, but this is what happened. My mom, my mom preached to the officers every single day when she was selling clothes to them, so she could sell the clothes and preach to them. So they were giving her food. That's the good thing. So they were taking care of her before the pastors came in, because the pastors came in, I think, like 2 days after. So she was in jail for like at least 2 or 3 days. And then they brought her back, and these women were furious because she came back. So when she came back, they were like, how would they release her? But they paid something. They paid for their hospital bills, but they were pissed off. So my mom seized that shop and said she would never send. So they started fighting again in a different way. So they made a deal with this woman who was a crazy woman in our neighborhood. Do you know those crazy people they talk about? That she is insane. Like, she could remove her clothes and curse people. She could do crazy things. She could fight. She could beat up people. So they knew her for that, and she was called Zam. Yes, Zam. So they made a deal with her. They told her, she sends a child to that shop, so go sit and have a conversation with that woman. When the child comes, give her the wrong thing. So their same scheme, and this is the second battle. After mama came back to jail, in just a few months, they planned it for a long time. So this woman was sitting at the shop of that man. It was a woman. And my mom sent my sister in to buy something. And when she came to buy something, they gave her the wrong thing. She came and told mama, they gave me the wrong thing again. And my mama came and told the woman, you know what, my daughter doesn't need this, so please, can we just change it? It's a changeable thing. Just give me another thing. And then this woman who was sitting on the chair, who was sent by these women, started to attack her. Not like physically, but like, no, take that. Don't give us a hard time. Leave this place. Because my mom was not yet delivered from temper and fighting. She was still breaking those chains. She left, but our home was close to the shop. It was just a few steps to our home. Because it's ghetto, like, it's closed up. So if you don't understand that, I understand, but that was the thing. So she kept coming with words, sending words to my mom over, sitting on the veranda of a friend that was like facing us, the right side, sat at the veranda and started cursing my mom with the worst words you could ever imagine. And I knew my mom, so my heart started bumping fast, and I started shaking. And my sister, she stood waiting for mama to whoop her ass. But I am telling you, yeah, she just stood there. She never shaked. She never, like, that. I've never seen my sister scared. I only saw my sister scared when papa was dying. She was not scared of anyone, like nobody. But me, ooh, oh my God. So I started shaking. And my mama says, what brought you from your house to come and sit here and start opening your mouth to talk to me? Who do you think you're talking to? And the woman said, oh, so you're talking back to me? My mama said, so what did you think I am? What do you think I am? I am a wall? What do you think? You think I am a box that you're going to come and kick and look at you? She said, okay, don't worry, just continue speaking, continue talking to me like that. The woman continued. So my mama had covered a saucepan onto one of her saucepans, and by then we had gotten a few saucepans, okay? A few saucepans had started coming up. Yeah, I am 25 years old. I'll stick to that, yo, for a reason. So my mama My mama said, continue talking to me like that. So she had covered a saucepan of food. There was food in the saucepan that she was cooking, and there was a cover on it, and it was also a big saucepan. The woman continued, you're this, you're this, you're you know nothing, you like every vulgar word in our language. It was coming out of her. But you don't know her anger. It wasn't her shop. It wasn't anything. So, but the enemy was trying to do something again. And it happens when Papa is not around. So the help of the family was away too. So that's what used to make me shake, because I know who is going to come to save me and Mama. And I had a tendency, when my Papa was going to fight anyone, or if anyone got physical with my mom and my Papa is not there, I would go and hug my Mama. So I would get whooped together. So I would go and hug my Mama and say, leave Mama alone, even when it happened with my Papa. I remember one day I was whooped for that. I was so scared. I ran to the door to open it so that I ran. And nothing, because of the fights that was happening in the house. Oh, they whooped me. They twisted me left and right, gave me the right, gave me a left, gave me a kick that took me back down at my sack of clothes that were covering me. And my sister, the good thing is that she never stood to help. So I think she could be traumatized. Now that I grow up, I think that's what happened to her. She could just look like that. But to me, you would see my actions and you would see I'm scared for my mom. So I could run and hug my mom if something was happening, or I could try to run away. So that day I got whooped. So this happened and Papa was away. So what Mama did, we didn't see it coming. No one saw it coming. They just had fights, and then people came in because they had started exchanging words. And that's what people want. People who were saving fights were not there that day. So people started coming around, and my Mama, I told you, she would say some words, but then fighting is the next thing, and that's all her siblings. I've seen all her sisters, they fight, and they fight violently. But because of what I told you, how they grew in their home. So the change has just started happening because of God in their lives. But that's all they knew how to do. So my Mama caught that saucepan and she hit it in this woman's head so hard that it made a bump in the saucepan. Hey, the woman stood up like she wasn't touched at all. So my Mama couldn't even know who her size is or not. She would come in full swing because that's what she knew, and I'm telling you. So the woman stood up, caught my Mama, pushed her on the wall, and started squeezing her on the wall while fighting. My Mama was fighting too, because she was a fighter. She would never give up, and she would never cry. So you would not hear her scream. She doesn't scream, help me. No. You would beat her and she's also giving back, even if it's hurting. Even you could tell that the person who was fighting, I was a child, but I noticed that this woman was stronger than my mom. So this woman placed my mom on the wall and started squeezing my mom while he's whooping my mom. And my mom was fighting back, and I started crying. I started crying. I was like, Mommy, Mommy. I could just say Mommy because I couldn't do anything. I was a child. No one ran to us to hold us, to comfort us. No one comforted us. People were enjoying the movie. So because my Mama, I told you that each time my mom fought, I think she wasn't fighting alone. There is a force that came on her. She caught the woman and she put her on the ground and she started boxing the woman. And that's when people came in and started separating them. So when people separated them, everyone went their own way. The woman went cussing and talking back to my mom and all that, and leaving back to her house because she got whooped too. And my mom was whooped too, but she didn't even. So she just came and started preparing, and I was crying, and she brought me in her chair. She said, it's okay baby, it's okay, calm down, calm. And I was crying shitless. I cried. My sister was how I told you. She was like this. she was like, she was just looking like this. Don't even say, Mama, you okay? She looked, I think because of the trauma, she just looked, And then, so, what happened is that, yeah, she had the right one that they made, but she still fought, like she still threw her hands. So, what happened to that woman is what we are going to stop on. The same night after that fight, Papa came back and we told him what happened, and he said, you need to stop fighting, because what if I'm not around? That's all he was worried about. So what happened is that days passed by without a response from God. And I'm telling you, the Bible says, do not touch the anointed one of God. And this is what I'm telling you happened to this woman. I am doing well. How you doing, mate? So after a few days, we hear a fight outside of the house. A huge fight that brought so many people over. But it was a cry of a woman coming from where that woman lives. It had a corridor, like it was far from us, but it had a corridor. And we used to go through those corridors, going anywhere from church, from wherever, going to school. So we had that corridor, and he was loud. So she was loud, so we knew it was her. She was screaming, leave me alone, leave me alone, somebody help me. And the husband was whooping her so bad. So I think she abused the husband, or they had a fight. And this was good because she had touched the anointed one of God. So just a few days, God responds with this. And she was not saved, but because of the gospel, and these women made a deal. So they wanted to hurt my mom. Said that my mom was hurt that day, I'm telling you, because I remember very well, she wasn't stronger than that woman, though she whooped her, but she got whooped too. So I'm sure she went through a certain pain. But God was watching. Karma was watching. And this is what happened to her. The husband came whooping her from her house. While she's running to save herself, the man is running behind her, whooping her, whooping her, whooping her, whooping her, until where we live. And the man holds her from there. The man places him on the wall because we all ran outside. Everyone, in ghetto, if people scream. If someone loses someone, they scream, something like that, start screaming. So people come out to come and comfort, to come and save. By the way, ghetto people were doing that, and when we got saved, we didn't see that much of that. So they have that, but they also have the thing of like loving the drama, because you live there, it comes with the drama. So we all came out to see what's going on. And in my side, when I was watching, away from people, but people were all there. But because like there is a house that was nearby, her friend's house, it had a huge veranda, so kids could step on that, even other people. We watched. People came to save her, but the man was like possessed. He could send everyone who came to help her away. And he whooped the woman. He beat her so bad that she lost all her front teeth until now. The last time I saw that woman, I had grown up and I was like 18 years old. And this is like, she's in my mom's age. She had no teeth. So all her front teeth fell out that day. And she never got any back. The man beat her so bad, so mercilessly, that we all felt so bad for her. She just kept screaming, but everyone who came to help couldn't remove the man. The man was also a boxer and a fighter, and he could, I think, also smoke those things and all that, but I think he abused the husband. The husband was, he was just like, he just whooped her so bad. Just know she got it so bad. So whatever she had given to my mom, she got like a million times. She even lost her tooth and she lost her marriage that day, because after that the man sent her out. The man never had repentance for her. He didn't have sympathy for what he had done to her. He sent her out the next day. And these women, they didn't ever do it again. They never. And that's the fight that stops. They could their neighbors who could, of course, with neighbors, little things that here and there people could. We went through that a lot until like we lost Papa and went to a house where we were separated. That's when it stopped. But like from that area when we were still young, I just witnessed other battles of men beating their women, the traumas of going through all that. But that is what happened to her after she attacked my mom for no reason. So that's what happened, and I'm gonna stop there today. But that was the enemy fighting, because my mom still had work to do. He had to help my dad get saved and stop drinking and all that. So it was all through her. So I thank God the demons and whatever wanted to kill my dad, like the dream my mom had, or like the things from his home where he comes from, they found her protected by the angels. Though there were fights, though there was pain, though there were sorrows, though there were tears, because I'm sure she might have cried somehow, but she stayed. And Papa stayed with her. And Papa, like the only time I saw that was then, and it used to happen because of like the sisters, the family coming in and saying these words. So that's why it was like too much. But I'll stop there today, and we'll start from there tomorrow, how we go from that place and go to another place. How Papa, gets saved. What happens? Does he get saved? What happens to him? And how did he die? And how did we come in place? How did we exist? And why am I here today telling you this? Yeah, so that's gonna be the other part tomorrow, and I'll try to cut it down so that we finish, and I'll be bringing other stories. But that was all, y'all. Even my water is done. Hi, how are you doing? Thank you by the way so much, Black Dot. I've seen you every single day, and someone else I've seen, like everyone that stops by, comments, leaves a like, leaves a gift. You mean everything to me, so thank you. I'm just saying if I missed anything in the comments. My eyes are red because I'm tired, yo. What did you guys think about the story? Are you enjoying my family's drama? And I decided not to hide. My sister hasn't seen this because their power is cut off. If she goes online and she finds this, I am dead. But I just be like, this is helping people. And I'll be like, whatever, you can also do it or not. Yes, Ruben, thanks for stopping by. The lives are always uploaded after, so like if you miss any lives, you can always go catch up on my story. Thank you. It's not going to be just about my family story. I'm gonna try to cut it short as I can so that we finish it tomorrow, so that now I can tell the other stories, because I have so many stories for you. And I was thinking that I should also be doing the stretch lives. Hands crossed, they're going to be every Sunday evening. We'll be stretching. So story time will always be from Mondays to Saturdays. Unless if I'm really exhausted or something happens, then I don't do the lives. but I post workouts every single day anyway, so go work out with me. Hit me with some questions. Give me the questions before I go. Give me the questions. See, I did it early today so that y'all can give me questions and we can talk a little bit before I leave. So that's part of my story. I think that's why I don't give up. Even when I'm like unmotivated or I'm very exhausted, I don't usually give up. I'm a fighter because I've fought my whole life. And I'll tell you about my story too, how I get, about what I go through as a child. That's gonna be actually in the part tomorrow. How I live. I was supposed to die when I was a baby. And the children I was in the room with, they all died. Yeah, all of them. No. No. I just don't want to, some questions to answer them, so I'm leaving those for a reason. And for people who are watching a pre-recorded, you guys go check out the rest of the stories in story time. They're all in my playlist. And the workouts, go work out. I'm not going to the gym recently, y'all, because of this month. Always give it as a fast fruit or fast offering to God, for the rest of the year. I don't know. It's just like our church and how we do it. Because most of the fast fruits are for the Lord, so that's why a lot of mass is being lost. But we're gonna get that. I'm gonna start working out like in a week time. I don't know. I'm also taking off break, but at least I'm stretching with y'all, so that's also a workout. That's why I'm trying to say that I'm with you guys in this journey. So like, go work out with me. Go check out the recent middle splits video I just uploaded. So good, so good. I felt my hips were screaming, y'all. I'm telling you, you see me smile. Each time I smile, it's because I'm about to scream and I cannot scream when I'm recording the videos for y'all. So I just choose to be quiet. Yes, thank you so much. By the way, to people who are supporting me like that, thank you so much. And to people who are supporting me by giving me gifts on the live, thank you so much. Because you know what happened to me? I had made YouTube more like because it was paying me something, and I was paying so many bills I have and responsibilities back at home. Oof. So that is over. And I'm just starting afresh because I know I'm not getting that again. So your support is very important. When you watch, when you share, when you give physical support, ooh, and you get a shout out too. And the gifts. And I'm also looking for a job as I'm starting. It's just a lot, y'all. So support your girl. Help her get there as I help you get there. Ask some more questions. People who are watching, what questions do you have for me in the stories? I might have missed something. Like if you have a question through all the stories that I've asked that like you have questions for, hit me with those questions. Let me answer them real quick. Some days I'll be catching up early on. If it's early, it's going to be from 8 to 9 straight late, or 9:30. So I'm gonna close off right now. And when it starts at 9, it's because I went to school and I just returned. Yo, what questions do you have for me? Membership. Join my membership. That's the way you can actually support me too. I'm gonna start posting stretches for members, and I'm gonna start doing lives for members whereby we can stretch. But I don't know, for the girls that are really serious about getting flexible, I'm gonna start the lives, and you guys can walk into me what you guys want to work on, if it's upper body, if it's lower body, and then I can like find the perfect stretches for that, and we can be stretching. So I'll be posting normally, and then I will be doing the memberships too. I'll be here. I'll be grateful to have you. Alex, yo, you guys. I just remembered. So I'm planning to start something. Let me know what you think, because I'm trying to boost small ideas. I overwork myself, y'all. I don't know if y'all do the same thing. I think because you know, when you have a lot on you want to expand whatever it is. So I was planning to create a second YouTube channel, because everything cannot be on Build and Flex. So I was planning to start a massage channel where I have a model already. So don't even give yourself in. I'm just joking, y'all can watch, but I'm not, unless if you're gonna pay me. I'm actually down for that. So I start a massage channel. That's if you guys like really think you will support me. Like, keep watching. When you watch and share, that's how you support me. So, and I massage this model. Sometimes like I show you like what I do at home. I massage like sometimes full body, sometimes just the head, the hands, and I am not an expert, but I've done it for some time, and I think that not for some time, like a long time. I have no one who taught me, just like the other channel where like you can chill and like you can see what I'm doing, and then you can do it to yourself. I've actually learned to massage myself, where like the times like I just stretch with you guys and just do that, just that slight movement of like doing that feels good. It releases a lot of lactation. It looks so silly when someone does it, but actually to people who do it, feels good. Each time I do that, most of my neck stretches, I should have just eliminated some videos and just kept the rest, but that was too late. But obedience now is better than whatever. It's better than sacrifice, so it's better that I obeyed anyway. But I'm gonna start bringing that. So yeah, that is helpful. So what do you guys think about that idea? Thank you. Will you guys support the channel? Do you want me to start it? Do you want me to start it? Will you support it? Just curious. Okay. Even to those that are watching a pre-recorded version, you could tell me, and it will only be happening late in the night, because now that I have lots of these, then I'll have even a time period strictly like now for a story time like this. We only have 1 hour strictly. So I'm gonna be leaving in just like 5 minutes or 3. Share my videos. Share them. Leave the thumbs up and comment. And you can always leave a super thanks too. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna go. Is there anything that you guys want to say to me? And day by day with God, that's a period. It's gonna come 3 times a week. You check it out. We share what's actually, you guys, that's when you will know what you need to work on. When you read the Bible. It helps you a lot. Why don't you try it like any other book you've tried in your life? You know? And tell me how actually you feel about it. Because then you'll be connecting some of the things I say too. Alright, you guys, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you so much for leaving likes and comments. Thanks for loving me. I love y'all so much. Ooh, look, I dream about you guys. Not all of you, but I love you guys a lot. That's what I mean. That's why I'm here every night, even when I'm tired. That's why, like, story time is mostly going to be me tired. So stick with me. And also, it's actually, that's why it's called story time, so that you're exhausted for bed. And then you learn something before you go to bed. It could help a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I've seen some of the videos getting some views, like day to day, day by day with God videos. I'm so proud of that. One is called Broken, Powerful and Emotional. It talks about how people are broken and need love and the reason why they're broken. Oh, I have something that happened to me that I can't share with you, because I'll break down, I'll cry the entire story. So that'll be maybe in the future when I'm ready. So that talks about that. I've seen that it has gotten 200 views. Right now I'm counting that. It's good. And then why you should forgive. Then your disobedience hurts others. All those, and then all the stretches. So we already posted 3 times this week, so the rest of the week is going to be about working out, stretches, and then night stories, story time, and then Sundays are for stretching. Bring out your mat, bring out your blocks, bring your sweet self. I'm being careful with my time. Bring your sweet self over, and then we can stretch and feel good. Need to go home tired. Thank you. Yeah, they're gonna be massages. I won't be talking a lot during them. I'll just be showing you and then going like that. So you guys, yeah, there is a model who accepted to do that for me. Grateful for him. And then yeah, I don't even ask why it's him, because that's the only choice that I have. So y'all just love judging people. Anyway, I love you guys a lot. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you tomorrow. I love you.